All right, I'm rolling the credits. Welcome everyone to Pipebomb Radio, featuring your hosts Ricky Litwinkowicz, Melissa Mitro, Alex Aldape, Chris Rex, and Darnell the Playmaker Salinas. What a time to be alive! What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Pipebomb Radio, live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and the I-95 Sports Network.
Woo!
And the bad boys are back in the saddle again, because I got my co-host back, Mr. Alex Aldape.
What's going on, man? I feel like it's been so long. Jesus, I mean, I moved. COVID happened, and then I moved, and I just had to get my studio set back up. And I feel like we haven't talked to these people in ages together.
Well, the last time we were on air was on Pipebomb Radio, which airs
That's right.
on Spreaker. It airs on iHeartRadio, Spotify, MileHighRadio.com, Blackjack TV, and the I-95 Sports Network. Because, not for anything, Pipebomb Radio has taken over the airwaves overnights. And I'm very, very pleased about that.
You guys have been doing some really good things while I've been away.
Well, we try our best. You know that. I have to actually fix the chat box because it is massive on the screen.
It's, as you guys on the East Coast would say, huge.
Yes, huge. So, for a different change of pace, by the way, we normally would be doing Arch Rivals football.
Normally.
But it's not football season. It's baseball season. Baseball season's coming back, which is great.
Woo!
I'm happy for that. And we're going to go over a few things for the upcoming season. We have Mr. Mike Benanti in the chat. Miss Melissa Mitro is in the chat.
What's up, Mitro?
Going to be sharing this out a little bit more in the coming minutes. But, Alex, what's your... We've renamed the issue.
What's that?
I usually call it the Carino.
The Carino.
But now we've changed it now to the Worldwide Bastard.
The Worldwide Bastard. Oh, the WWB. Oh man, it's been kind of a motherfucker, man. Like it's obviously we have to keep moving forward and I feel, I mean, even though at the same time, like social distancing, please practice social distancing. But at the same time, like America or just humans as a whole, like we are losing our shit because we're generally a community type of species, and we thrive on that. And without it, man, I mean, you've seen some people. I mean, you got protests going on about I need a haircut, and then there's the BLM movement going on. I mean, there's so many things happening right now. But I think the least of them out is if you need a haircut, get some fucking scissors and
or a buzzer.
Yeah, you know what? The worst thing the length of a bad haircut's about 2 days, and then it starts to look normal again. So I mean, just deal with it. I know it sucks. It really sucks here. They just started. They did a mandatory mask thing up here in Missouri in KCMO. But you know what? We're getting through it, and baseball is starting back up, Ricky. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I can't tell you how many times I drive by the K and Independence, and I want to be there. I feel like we as Americans, we have to have baseball come back. And I think, it's just one of those things that just like we're going through this trying, difficult time. We need some type of normalcy, and our greatest pastime is definitely something that we could, is something that is required to get us into feeling normal again.
Well, at the same time, though, and we spoke about this a little bit on Saturday. I know we're talking baseball, but I have to give tremendous props and shout outs to the people at NASCAR, to the people at the PGA.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Um, Even if you really want to kind of like you really want to even add on because it's kind of hard to even say that, but if you really want to add it on, you could actually put the PBA in because the PBA also
You know
is
what?
is
You're
a huge
right.
fan thing as well. They have been literally the, I guess, the igniters of getting sports really back on TV.
Well, and not even just them too. It's also the PCHA. I guess I don't even know if they have that's their real league name, but the cornhole tournaments, man. I mean, they've been doing like I remember when the WWB first started hitting and they like did like ESPN the Ocho, and I applaud all of those people like marble racing, man. That was amazing for like the first four times that I saw it, but then afterwards I was like, okay, this is. But at the same time, you got cherry. I mean, I did not know that there were champion cherry pit spitters or rock throwers or rock skippers. Did not know. No idea.
You want
I
to know
didn't
something
know.
even funnier? The
What's that?
world got introduced more now to cornhole than
Yeah, that's
ever
what I'm saying.
before.
The PCHA, the Professional Cornhole Association.
It is legitimately nuts to know that we can sit there and say, hey, I've been sitting there watching the National Cornhole Championships from 2017, 2019. I'm actually pretty impressed with it, believe it or not.
I am too, man. I really am too. It was they dealt with what they had, and I think they made the best of it. Also, I think during this whole ordeal, we got to see, they were playing, what was the Last Dance came out. Other, like, ESPN was playing several old games, like just classic football games from yesteryear. And I think it was cool for us to go back down that, like, that time travel back to those times and what emotions we had then.
But in the meantime, though, now we have the baseball conversation coming,
Woo!
and
Baseball's back, baby.
we have actually a pretty stacked show. We will be on until 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are catching this later on Spreaker or iHeartRadio or Spotify, do not hesitate to comment. Please follow the NYC Pipe Bomb Radio page on Facebook at facebook.com/NYC Pipe Bomb Radio. And right off the bat, let's just kind of get into the way that this season is going to start. Now that they have finally conquered their anger issues and are going to fight the worldwide bastard to get the sport playing again. Teams are going to open the season with an active 30-man roster, reduced down to 28 players after 2 weeks, then down to 26 after 4.
Yeah, and so, but I think that, but they like that, so because some of the minor leagues, they have like a 60-person pool, don't they? That they can choose those players from.
They will start. They're going to start with a 60-man roster to start.
Okay,
with,
to start spring training.
Quote. Well, it's not spring training. It's now called summer
yeah.
training.
Yeah.
And
you knew what I meant, asshole.
But what they're doing though is that they're keeping the excess players. So once they get down to 26, those 34 players will still be local to the team.
Okay.
And if coming up to one of the next parts of the listing here, it says here there will be a separate injury list for players who either test positive or have symptoms / confirmed exposure to the worldwide bastard. No maximum or minimum days for this injury list.
Yeah.
So basically, they could take that player that's got the issue,
Mm-hmm.
put them on a separate injury list, and then call up from that 34-man pool,
Okay.
which would technically be like their minor league system
Yeah,
because
like
these
calling a
guys are
kid
still
up
going to
from
be
the
athletes.
clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My opinion on this really, with having now this, first off, the regular major league roster is a extra player now because of the fact that they are running the DH in both leagues.
That's awesome. No, I think I've always thought that the two leagues not having the DH or having the DH, either or. I could go either way with this, but I feel like the fact that when you would go we get to the playoffs and whatnot and the World Series, well then you've got to change the rules depending on where the game's played. I think that's stupid. Like just keep it the same rules and let's move on. Let's figure out which way we want to do. So now they're going to do with like the DH, and I think that is an amazing. That's one of the most positive things for Major League Baseball to come out of the worldwide bastard.
Well, at the other part, because I'm reading more now into it. We have 7 viewers on. Thank you for being entertained by us on a Monday afternoon, because usually we're on later at night. Another part here says, quote, teams will be permitted to carry up to 3 taxi squad players on the road during the season. If, though, a team carries 3 such players, one must be a catcher.
Okay. Okay.
Well, in a way, I can kind of understand the catcher part.
Yeah.
The catcher is going to be one of the most frequented players around the umpires.
Yeah. Within close
Um,
proximity of other people, within 6 feet.
yes, the hitters from the other team. So I can kind of understand the extra catcher part. Some of the parts that I really do say is going to be difficult for baseball this year, and this is not in the listing, by the way. This is something that kind of is really on base topic, is announcing crews will only be restricted to their home fields, which I
Okay.
kind of find weird.
So you can't have sports announced like so if the Yankees are playing like just say the Yankees are playing the Blue Jays, so the Yankees announcer can't go call the game in Toronto.
No,
Okay. Okay.
but I again, it's the age of technology, and
Well, yeah, and it makes sense. I mean,
it does make sense. However, this is kind of where I find there are some really fine lines with the whole setup.
yeah.
Okay? Now, I'll be honest with you. I watch multiple sports. First off, I know there's a 3-second delay.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have guys announcing it from home, or whether it be in like the home ballpark or the way everybody's been doing it now from a home studio.
Yeah.
To me, the video feed itself is going to be from the home ballpark. It's not like saying Yankees Network or the Yes Network gets the ability to go onto the road to go to Boston or Toronto or even, let's say, Baltimore, right? We have to have the Baltimore feed of video and possibly not the Yankees announcers on Yes, but now we'll have the Baltimore announcers instead.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I kind of find of maybe on some points we'll see will be a little bit more favoritism
Well,
for the
I
home
think
team.
I think you're going to have to deal with that, though. I mean, dealing with the current situation that we're in, and I was thinking the exact same thing as you were. Like, so that's why I said so the Yankees go to Toronto. The Toronto guys got to call the game, and no, I mean that's the only broadcast, or that's the only person allowed there because I mean it seems very biased towards the home team, and
But that's
so it's
again,
going to be
that's where I see the issue though. Like, I can understand, all right? A lot of the announcers in MLB are not young, spry chickens like us, okay?
yeah.
They're 60-plus-year-old guys, former baseball players, minor league announcers, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
and
they're at-risk people, you know?
and the bastard in itself could heavily affect them from doing all of the traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's more of a locality now for certain divisions, but it's really going to kind of stink if we have to sit there and listen to. Again, I'm not prying on one team specifically, but we have to listen to the Boston Red Sox announcers announce Yankee games, or the Pirates announcer having to announce a Kansas City Royals game. Like,
Well, yeah,
to me, that
or
doesn't
like
fit.
even worse, the Cardinals announcer announcing a Kansas City Royals game, because they changed up the divisions and whatnot. So I mean, and I don't know, man. I've been missing baseball so much. We have a ton of Cardinals up here in Kansas City, and I have been booing at a bird because I've missed baseball so much. I just sit out, smoke a cigarette on my back deck, and just, oh, you're a hack, and just I heckle birds, Ricky. I need baseball back so much.
Well, being the fact that you changed localities now that you're in Missouri, I could kind of understand you screaming at Redbirds all the time. So, yeah.
Oh man, well I've always been a Royals fan, man. We still hate those Redbirds.
Let me tell you, I am looking forward to be sitting down at some point throughout a day and be like, I could read the actual box scores in a newspaper again.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I kind of figure out the whole deal. That was one of the things that I actually do when I wake up. I would grab the newspaper. Okay, I'm going to read the box scores because now fantasy baseball has always been there.
Mm-hmm.
We do have Sean Murphy of Ace Maestro Gaming in the chat, part of the Pipe Bomb
Sean
family.
Murphy.
Rexy is watching us from Twitch.
What's up, Rex? How are you, man?
Miss Melissa Mitro says, "Hey, sugar, we missed you."
Oh, I know you did. I know she's talking about me. She wasn't talking about you.
No, because she sees me every day.
Exactly. And honestly, Rick, I think she likes me more.
Probably. All right. Some of these other things that we have in the shortened season due to the AKA bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Trade deadline will be August 31st.
Yes.
To be eligible for the postseason, a player must be added to the Major League roster by September 15th. Normally, that's September 1st.
Yeah.
During extra inning games in the regular season, each half inning will begin with a runner on second base. The batter who made the final out in the previous inning or a pinch runner for that batter would be that runner. Let's get into that topic, by the way. As the K&K Sports Show is asking the same question as the topic as we come up. And a shout out to the K&K Sports Show.
Well, just in time, guys. Just in time.
I have a feeling I know who that is, but I'll have him announce it himself. And then he can do a little bit of promo.
Is his name Kyle or Kyle?
That would be
K&K.
I believe it would be Kurt Valenti of K&K
Oh, Kurt.
Sports.
Well, I mean, that's another K name.
So, what is your opinion about this runner on second base deal?
Man, I kind of like it because I mean we've all watched these games where they go, and we were talking about this yesterday just over the phone, about the baseball curfew, and it's just like, man, sometimes they can. Because a baseball game can just drag on. I think it's going to speed up the game and make it flow a lot better. Because we've seen what. 17. I mean, when the Royals won the World Series in 2015, as I have my Royals championship hat on, no, it was the final game. I didn't even get to enjoy the thing because I think it went to 13 innings and it was like 1:00 in the morning. I had to go to work the next day.
But they also had that game. They also had the rain delay as well. So
they did have the rain delay. Yeah, they did have the rain delay. You're right. Correct. But like the extra innings, man, it's just so. I think we need something to streamline it and give that so when you go into extra innings, you give each team has the exact same edge, and bam, instead of going 13 innings, maybe we'll go 10, 11. or 17 innings or 20 innings. I mean, instead of having it, I think we could get rid of the baseball curfew.
My interesting point is this, okay? And it goes up to a part of another article that I pulled off of MLB.com. They're saying with this lovely 60 game shortened season, and I'm saying that this is going to be a lot different. I made a comment on K&K on Saturday. I've actually called WFAN, who were the ones that inspired the baseball show Horsehide to Cowhide. The sacrifice bunt is going to disappear.
I think so too.
And my outlook on the sacrifice bunt disappearing is now every game is not a marathon. It is a sprint. 60 game season, every game is going to be a must-win game.
And that's one thing I like about it, man. I've always thought that the baseball season is too long. I mean, they're off 3 months out of the year, basically. And not even technically, they're not off because in spring, then training starts. I mean, they're conditioning, but I mean, they start in February? No, April.
Well,
spring training.
Spring training's actually in February. The games
February,
start in March, and then you have your
Mm-hmm.
regular season at the end of March and April.
Exactly. So I mean, I think these guys. I mean, number one, I think they're pushing these guys too much. And I think this would be a better. I think it would make baseball way more exciting. Because there's always the argument. Well, yeah, watching baseball on TV is boring, but going to watch a game is way better. I think this is going to make there's going to be more heart. So I think we're going to get back to, in my opinion, I think we could get back to like Sandlot baseball, where like you got to beat. I mean, it's win or die. It's not an average anymore. It's kind of going to get towards like NFL football, where you have to have the record to make it up to the show. And so I'm kind of excited about it. I think they should just keep with a 60 game schedule moving forward.
Well, to me, and I have numbers for the sacrifice bunt, and then it'll kind of bleed into the extra inning thing as well. 2019, there were only 776 sacrifice bunts, or 16 per team game. Lowest in history. New lows have been set regularly each year for many years. And they also say here, most of them come from pitchers, 56% to be exact in 2019. Guess who won't be hitting in 2019? The pitchers.
Who's that? The pitchers, yeah.
Not in National League games, not in games where AL clubs are visiting NL parks, not anywhere ever.
Well, and what does a pitcher need to hit for? I mean, I get it. Like back in the day, that was a thing where everybody hits, everybody was kind of equal. But what does the pitch? That guy's got to worry about one thing.
But
throw the ball.
There are some pitchers, and I'm going to kind of put this toward the New York Mets actually, because their pitching staff was one of the better hitting staffs in Major League Baseball. I'm saying this purely off of numbers.
True. That's true. They were good.
DeGrom can hit.
Yeah.
Syndergaard can hit, even though he's not pitching this year due to the Tommy John.
Yeah.
They had Wheeler, who's now with Philly. Steven Matz can hit. I can see these guys possibly getting into games as pinch hitters, if need be, if you use your 26-man bench down to nothing. But also at the same rate, the sacrifice bunt in extra innings. You do give up the out, but then you get to move that runner over from second to third and have two chances of getting him in.
That's true. So I don't know. Maybe we won't see the end of the sacrifice bunt. I don't know, man.
But if you now have a lineup of 1 to 9 pure hitters,
yeah,
you're not going to be bunting that guy over unless you have a guy like D. Gordon from the Marlins.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if he's on the Marlins anymore. I have to double check the roster. But if you have a speed guy there and you can get down a bunt, then you have the chances of making it a bigger inning by having two runners on. which is a great outlook at it. To me, the only way I'm saying that the disadvantage is that depending on what pitcher is in the game, because I heard the other rule, it's not listed on MLB's website, is that a relief pitcher must pitch to 3 hitters in an inning. I don't know if the rule was stated or not, but now let's say you have a 3-run rally in the top of the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
You're already behind the 8 ball. You know, you can't mix and match pitchers as you go along. So, to me, giving that advantage to try to get the game done quicker is great. But how many innings now are you going to say where you're going to have a guy on second base every time?
That's a very good point. Well, I don't know, man. Like, but if you have a 3-run and but so that's actually 4 runs because you already have the DH or the designated runner on second.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but if we're in extra innings, the other team still has to make up those runs to tie to go into another. So I mean,
and they also get the same advantage as the top of the inning anyway.
Exactly.
So you could potentially have more scoring in extra innings.
Yeah.
Which is going to probably even make the game longer to begin with, if you think about it.
Yeah, but I think it'd make it more exciting. I don't know. We haven't seen a game yet, and that's where I'm trying to like. And I think that we just got a comment that from K&K, and I'm sorry, Kenny.
Kurt.
I just called you Kyle. No, it's Kenny right now.
Kenny's there too. Oh,
sorry,
okay.
Sorry, Kyle. I mean,
we have too many Ks.
I'm just joking.
There's too many Ks.
As long as there's not 3 of them, it's okay. He said, I think certain National League teams might still use the bunt, but a team like the Yankees, I don't think know how to bunt. I agree with that. I mean, there's some teams that can pull it off, but the Yankees have always been, to me, they've always been they're heavy hitters. Granted, they pay for a lot. I mean, they definitely buy some decent players. But I think this could be the equal. Speaking of the Yankees, I think this, like the time of we're going to buy the best people in the field so we can win a championship. I think that's gone. I mean, with this DH thing, I really do. I think it's just going to be. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but Ricky, I think I know.
It's more of a level playing field now.
Yeah, there we go. It's more of a level playing field where your juggernaut teams like the Yankees will automatically have a. I mean, they're all like even now.
By the way,
we'll see. I'm not saying the Royals are going to win the World Series, but because they're not.
Watching us on YouTube is baseball historian Enzo. Who I mentioned that we were going to be on the air today.
Well, I'm glad the K&K sports show is throwing some shade my way just as well. Haha, good, Alex.
We are a happy family at the I-95 Sports Network.
I love it, man. That's awesome. That's hilarious.
All right, so there also is some of the other stuff on here. A 10-day injury list for both pitchers and hitters.
Mm-hmm.
Though the 60-day injured list, not DL anymore, will be reduced to a 45 injury list.
Okay.
Let's see here. MLB's transaction freeze, which has been in place since the season was suspended, will end on Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So the guys are going to start getting paid again.
Which brings up to the point here. Players will be paid a full prorated portion of their 2020 salary based on games played, which will equal approximately 37% of the full season.
See, and I don't agree with that, man. Like, these guys had contracts, and it's not like it's not their fault. I mean, I guess I can see it from both sides. It's not the MLB's fault, and it's not the players' fault that the WWB happened. I mean, it's nobody's fault. So, but at the same time, why aren't you going to go on and honor your agreements that you've made with these guys who have been conditioning this entire time to play the sport that you've hired them to play? Why are they going to prorate their salaries. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. Um, I think you should pay them what you promised to pay them.
But here's my outlook to this now, right? You're playing 60 games, which is just under. Thanks, Kenny, for popping by.
Thanks, Kenny. Good to talk to you, buddy.
And I'll get a lot of flack for this later on, but I don't care. You're playing 60 games, which is a little under 1/3 of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my mathematics are not that great.
No,
at this point.
it's a little under a third because I mean they played like what, like
They play
162
162. You divide that by
games.
3.
Yeah,
You know, like it's for
I
me, it's
mean
around a third of the season.
we're close in the ballpark. You know,
The vicinity of dandyhood, as George Carlin would
yeah,
say.
the vicinity of dandyhood.
So 37% maybe actually just be a little bit more than what they would be really playing for. I probably would say maybe, just to be fair, 40 to 45% of their salary. Because they're not exactly playing a half a season, but they're not exactly playing a third of a season.
Well, but here's
so
the thing:
there's got to be something in the middle.
I would disagree. So why don't we just go right down the middle? Why don't we go to 50% of their salary? If you're going to prorate it, like don't give them 37%, give them 50%, or at least half, because there's also the health risk that they're doing right now. I mean, whether we want baseball to start or not, we do have to understand that there is the WWB still exists, and these guys are putting themselves in danger to entertain us. So I think why not pay them at least half? I mean, and they're really not missing too much of the season. I mean, granted, it's going to start in what, August? No, end of July.
End of July, the 23rd.
Yeah, the 23rd. Yeah. But still, I mean, these guys are also. I mean, with their training, I mean, they're going in. They're putting themselves in contact with other people. So, I mean, at least they deserve. Quit chewing on my goddamn computer, Cord, you piece of shit. Sorry, I was talking to my dog.
I feel like a major league broadcaster already.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm pretty sure all major league announcers that are doing things from home will have a dog that will come in to play. But no, I think they should. I mean, they're putting up the risk for sheer entertainment. I mean, that's what we need to break this down to. Like, it is our entertainment. Granted, I love baseball. Baseball is probably one of my favorite sports of all time. So I don't think that they should dock these guys just because the season's not played out to its full potential. I think they should get 50%.
Well,
that's my personal opinion.
We did have some news come in just before showtime.
Yes.
And I'm waiting for it to pop up. There were already 2 players listed, to our knowledge, that will not be participating in the 2020 season this year. One of them just so happens to be Washington Nationals first baseman Ryan Zimmerman.
Yes. And then there was the pitcher for oh God, I was the one that sent you that article.
Mike Leake.
Which Mike Leake's not like, I mean, he's not a barn burner, but he's a solid pitcher. I mean, he shows up to work every day. I mean, he does a good job. He's not a Randy Johnson, but he's still a really good pitcher. But he's the same way. He just, like, I'm not going to sacrifice my family for this.
And this is from Jason Stark on Twitch. No, not Twitch, on Twitter. As the opt-outs begin to filter out, some opt-out conditions that apply. A high-risk player who opts out can later change his mind if the team physician and MLB Joint Committee approve. So, I will say at this point, if Ryan Zimmerman decides, hey, you know what? I'm getting all of these asteroids from sitting on my couch. I'm going to come back and play baseball for like the last month of the season.
Yeah.
more likely than anything, we know once they're sitting out, they're not probably coming back. But
No,
we may
and
have that option.
we had the comment. Ryan has a good reason. Prayers to his mother. So does his mother? Does she have the vid, or or does she have pre-existing conditions that he doesn't want to be?
I would say more of the
Doesn't want
fact
to
is,
expose her to it. I
I
mean,
would say
I
that would probably be
understand
more
that.
of the reason that if he goes to play, he doesn't want to expose her to
Exposed his
anything.
mother. Well, and I understand that 100%, man. When this whole thing kicked off, I mean, I've only seen my mom once, and I felt like a bastard just trying to didn't hug her or anything like that. So, go Brewers. Who the hell is that?
It's T. Brelly.
Oh God, who?
T. Brelly. That's what it says there.
Really?
Any other? Wait, this gets better because Ryan Zimmerman just screwed the pooch. Any other player who opts out cannot return for any of the 2020 season or postseason.
Well, and I think that you know what, that's just safety.
The question
That
being now is he still getting paid?
So Enzo said that that Zimmerman's mom has MS, and completely understandable. I mean, he doesn't want to. She's got pre-existing conditions, and he doesn't want to possibly expose her because she could tank with that. I mean, I get it. Way to go. I mean, but at the same time, if you're not going to go from the beginning, I don't think you should be able to just add on later on. But I agree with you. I don't think if anybody opts out, I don't think they're going to be coming back later on. And I don't think it should be allowed to because I don't think that would be fair.
Bob Nightingale on Twitter says Minnesota Twins sideline 2 coaches because of the worldwide bastard concerns. And it's an article in ustoday.com. And if you're just tuning in and don't know what the WWB is,
worldwide bastard.
we call it the Carino
vid.
now, the
vid.
Worldwide bastard. But there are a lot of people on Twitter, on MLB.com, coming out about a lot of the stuff with this. And going back to some of the ways that the MLB season will be changing, they say some starters may go an entire season undefeated.
Oh, look, Ricky, we got a new co-host.
Ah.
Do you see that nose popping up?
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
It's the new HTC mascot.
It's the new HTC mascot. Tipsy Tilly. She might have had a couple beers, and she's just just say something to him. Get down, fucking mongrel. Anyways, go back to what you were saying.
Some starters may go an entire season undefeated, and others winless.
I don't know if anybody's going to go winless. Not in baseball. I mean, no team has gone completely winless, have they?
No, I'm saying the pitchers.
Oh, yeah, there'll be some pitchers that go winless.
They're also saying here the strikeout rate will go down, probably by a little.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, it says they set a strikeout record every year. It was 23% in 2019, up from 18% in 2009, and 16.4% in 1999. So they're saying now strikeouts are more prolific throughout the game as the years go by.
Well, I mean, pitchers are getting better, though.
Well, if they also stop changing the ball, would be nice.
Changing the ball? That's the whole part of the sport. Well, I guess not. Well, I mean, didn't they start changing the ball because guys would do spitballs and?
I think it's just that the material of the ball has changed, whether it's wound a little bit tighter, a little bit looser.
Okay. But at the same time, they still need to change the ball because back in the day they were doing some pretty dirty shit, like tobacco juice, and I don't know how tobacco juice. Or giving a ball a cigarette would change it, but it would change its flight pattern. And so that's why they use the new ball every time, right?
Yeah.
I guess they're changing go ahead.
The number 8 hitter in the National League is no longer going to get pitched around. This obviously now
They're not
because...
going to walk him.
What's up, Wade?
Wade
Kite.
From Vegas.
Yes, from Vegas.
What's up, Vegas?
The eighth
Time no
hitter,
see, man.
normally we get pitched around or intentionally walked
Yeah.
to get to the pitcher. Guess what? No pitcher
Not
batting in
having
the
it
9
anymore.
hole. So
that's the thing. That's crazy because like the fourth batter was always the cleanup guy. I wonder what batter 9's going to be now, since they can't pitch. They can't try to walk the eighth hitter. So you could load whoever you could load like Thomas the fucking Tank and then just crush it with your 9th batter. So that's why I guess they can't. That's why they're not going to walk the 9th or 8th one.
Well, it's also now going along to the next one. No more, well, not as many pinch hitters in the game, because obviously now the 9 spot is not occupied by a pitcher.
Well, yeah, so
which
it
is
gets
another
rid of
player you will not be pinch hitting for.
So it kind of does get rid of the DH in a little bit. Like there's no need for the DH.
Well, no, you'd have no room for the pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Because now you're saying, well, my pitcher can't hit. I'm putting a better player there in like the 6th inning, 7th inning, so on and so forth. Which also probably means that you wouldn't be restructuring the lineup either.
No, you would have your batting lineup, and that would be it. That'd be goal. I mean, why not use it for every game? I mean, I guess you could change it up a little bit because of strategy, but...
Yeah, but you know what now? I don't know if the term double switch happens anymore either.
Yeah.
Because normally when you do a double switch in a game, the lineup positions change because you're putting a pitcher in a player's spot and a player in a pitcher's spot. So now, I mean, you could change it. Technically, the double switch is taking 2 people out at the same time. But now the lineup doesn't change.
That's true. It's very true.
So that's a very interesting fact, and I don't think a lot of people are really kind of looking forward to that. I may be the first one ever to do that. Well, at least known. They're also saying here, the National League could be the higher scoring league for the first time in 50 years.
Is that because of the the pitchers don't have to hit? Is that why? Because
it's saying
that's the National League. The pitcher has to hit, right?
Yeah.
So that's why.
But it's saying here almost entirely due to the fact that pitchers were taking up so many low-value plate appearances in the NL, which has been enough to overcome the fact that the NL has Coors Field, which is almost always the highest-scoring ballpark.
Okay.
Now you add the DH in at Coors Field, we'll have like 23-20 games.
That's true. Coors Field?
Yeah, Colorado.
Yeah, Denver. Well, the Rockies aren't going to do shit.
They still do put up a lot of runs, but they also give up a lot of runs at the same time.
They do. They definitely do.
And I'm going to skip number 7 because it really makes no point. Home field advantage home field advantage may or may not be an advantage is number 7, but we know the reason why because there's no fans.
Well, yeah, because there's no fans. I mean that is a big deal, and I am very curious to see how this plays out, man. Because as a former, I mean, I wasn't a professional athlete, but I mean, I played in high school and stuff. But like the fans do make a difference, man. They do. Like they pump you up. Everybody gets psyched up. The music plays and whatnot, and it does make a difference. And so I do think. I mean, this is going to be. Honestly, I think this could get everybody on the most even playing field, which I hope they don't stick to because I hope someday that you and me can go to a ballpark together. But at the same time, I kind of like it that they're not going to be. I mean, what are you going to have the organist go beep 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 to who? Who are they playing for?
I think the only time the organist would be playing something is if you have a spot in the game where signs need to be done or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or you end up getting to the point where, God forbid that it happens this year, let's say you end up having a bench clearing brawl or disagreement or whatever. Now you've got 52 players on the field and coaches and everything else. I really don't think the language would be perfect for that point, because there'd be just way too many times that you'd have to sit there and try to bleep out even 3-second audio.
Yeah.
The organ player playing over all of that, I think that would actually be the best bet for that point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe put up like some type of fight theme or something that like you're covering up all the language.
Or
That's
another one.
probably where they think the organ players are going to freaking make money.
Hi, Tilly. How are you? Thank you for being a part of this podcast, but I have to ask you to respectfully go sit in the corner. Jesus Christ, dude.
The mascot returns.
The mascot returns.
Number 8, and I know Enzo is going to have a big opinion on this. It's a rarity. It has only happened 21 times in Major League history. A player skipping the minors entirely.
That's not. I don't see that as a bad thing, though. I read an article about that too, and I mean, I don't know. I think could be some guys that that have gotten lost in the minors that never had the opportunity, and now we might be able to see some different type of a different type of ball player. I don't know. I mean, what's your opinion on it?
I think sometimes throwing a player into the fire too fast affects their longevity of their career. Now, I mean, certain guys can do it, certain guys can't.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's not a physical ability that they're going to have not being on the same playing field or the level playing field as other players. But if you somehow come straight, let's say, for example, and this is the example I'm going to use, the pitcher that just opted out for this year, Mike Leake, went right from Arizona State to Cincinnati back in 2010.
Yeah.
And he'd never pitched in the minors. The only thing that he did pitch in was the Arizona Fall League. And obviously he's still in the majors right now because, well, he opted out. So at this point, I'm thinking the fact of a player at such a young age may come in with all of the fire in the world. I question the second base issue. Enzo, I kind of covered it already. I'll go back to it in a little bit. But I'm saying, to me, psychologically, that a player coming in at such a young age, if he gets burned quick, like the first 5 innings of baseball this guy pitches, starter or reliever, is probably never been in the biggest spotlight like that, regardless of now whether if it's fan or no fan, because now you're being nationally televised. So you're going to have that pressure to perform. You're going to have the pressure from your teammates as well for you to go out and do said job. I think that's going to be a real big issue as well. And again, 5 innings as just a roundabout number. If you give up, let's say, 10 runs in 5 innings, you give up 13 runs, you have an ERA above 6, 7, those are the types of things that are really going to kind of be stuck in your head, not properly being trained or seasoned for this type of stage. That's the way I kind of see it. Like, you're just getting thrown into the fire too fast. It's whether you can handle the spotlight or not is going to be the psychological advantage.
Well, I mean, I think it's an aspect of sink or swim, though, man. I mean, I agree with you 100% because, I mean, the minor leagues are there for a reason. These young guys can develop themselves way easier than they can in the show. But, I mean, I guess they're gonna have to develop a little bit faster. just to see. Just with the circumstances, I don't think it's ideal, but we're not dealing in ideal times, anyways.
But I mean, the only way I can kind of say that it's beneficial at some point, because there's really not going to be any major league stuff going on.
Yeah.
So these taxi squads or the other 30-man groups that they're having, these, I guess they're calling them like lotteries or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I could see how they do it that way.
Yeah.
You put a kid in there and he's in there with other major leaguers. You may get some type of a growing process. But again, you're not on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You're not on the big light. You're not under those big lights. Granted, this year, no fans for, let's say, God forbid, the month and a half.
Well, and honestly, maybe that's a good thing for him. Maybe you take a kid out of the minor leagues where he's used to playing for like maybe 100 some people, and then it's a good transition for him to get into the majors without the stress of the fans. Because I mean, the baseball fans are brutal. We are. I mean, like I said earlier, I was booing at a Cardinal at the top of my lungs the other day. And, but I mean, you get out of here, you fucking hack! Fuck your mother! Like that type of shit getting screamed at you all the time. And he doesn't have to deal with that much. So maybe without fans, it could be, maybe we could see like some potential from some really good baseball players that we wouldn't have seen before. But then that also goes to ask, well, when the fans come back, will that guy just shit himself on stage or on the field?
Again, I don't think there's proper seasoning for a guy coming straight out of high school, college.
Yeah.
I even say from the Arizona Fall League that happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really just don't agree with it. I mean, me as I can kind of say I'm a former athlete. I still do bowl and play golf and cornhole and shit.
You're the best ESPN Ocho athlete ever.
Yes, but I don't think even myself would want to come out of a lower situation into the higher situation so fast. I just don't see that as a.
No, I don't. I see where you're going, and yeah, I mean it's a lot of stress, man. And plus, like you've got to perform, or you could be done if you're not. If you don't do your job, they'll either kick you back, or they'll kick you down to single A, and then you'll play for the KC T-Bones, and then that'll be your career. You never know.
Moving on. We have a really, really good segment. We started doing this on Horsehide to Cowhide, which the background of our show is part of the Horsehide to Cowhide label. The Salute Century Anniversary from 1920 to 2020, the Negro Leagues.
Take my hat off to that, man.
I have this big ass headset on, so I have to kind of do it.
Yeah, I know. I did adjust mine too.
But
the centennial of the Negro Leagues, man.
And we've already had quite a few Negro Leagues topics on Horsehide to Cowhide. You can check that out on iTunes and Spotify and Spreaker.com. But I'm going to tell you, going back and doing a lot of the research on the classic baseball, I think there was one player, I believe his name was Josh Brown. He was a catcher out of Pittsburgh, who annihilated the baseball. First off, the guy hit mammoth home runs and was very, very good at calling the game. Like he's one of the players that will stick out in my mind. Satchel Paige. I mean, the list is
yeah. I mean,
infinite
Jackie Robinson, obviously. I mean, Jesus Christ, who else can we go to? Cool Bob Young or Cool Papa Young. That's it. Um, oh man, there's so many good players that really revolutionized the game. I mean, it was a different aspect to what America was used to, and you take these guys that you know were just going completely balls to the wall, and just I don't know how to describe it, man. They changed the game forever. Once once they incorporated black players into Major League Baseball, I think the game completely did a 180. There was another sense of athleticism to it.
I think they brought a little bit more of a. I'm not saying. First of all, I'm not going to say that baseball is not an emotional sport. It is.
But they brought more emotion to
I
it.
think they brought a different nuance to the game
Mm-hmm. I agree.
than what guys were there. They play with a lot more heart. They play with a lot more passion. Like you said, balls to the wall baseball. They laid it out on the line every play.
Because in other people's mind, they weren't supposed to be there. So
But I
they had to prove to everybody like how like this is what I can do, motherfucker. And I think they had to be like that. They had to be in the spotlight. They had to be in the spotlight because if they weren't, then what then at that point in time, people didn't consider that didn't think that they deserved to be on the field. So these guys, I thought they had to work harder to make America fall in love with them, and they did it, and they did it well. I
well
mean,
today being the anniversary of it, I can actually participate in tipping your hat to the Negro Leagues. It's a
mm-hmm.
3-step process. You take a photo or short video of yourself tipping your hat to the Negro Leagues and include maybe a few words saying something about them.
Mm-hmm.
You could send a photo or video to photos@tippingyourcap.com. Post the video on social media using the hashtag #TipYourCap2020.
Yeah.
And this is something that's actually out close by you. The NLBM, located on East 18th between Vine and Highland, just across from the
Mm-hmm.
Gem Theater in Kansas City.
It's Kansas City, Missouri, man. I drive by that every Friday.
It is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Saturday, and from noon to 5 on Sundays. Occupancy is limited to 150 to 200 people at a time in order to provide for the BBE.
Yeah. Well, I think
WWE.
we've talked about this before, dude. Like you need to. I can't wait for you to come visit because we need to go there. It's so cool, man. It's so. I mean, it's just a part of American history that I love, uh, and I'm so glad that it's in my city. You know.
It's also a privately funded non-profit organization,
Mm-hmm.
renewing memberships ranging from $25 to $1,000. Membership includes free admission for the year, 10% discount on merch from the NLBM Extra Innings store, and then there's also gifts and additional benefits via levels. But it is,
Yeah.
believe it or not, now that I'm starting getting into the whole historian thing and digging into technically the roots of baseball, this has been a very eye-opening thing for me, knowing the fact that besides the Yankees, the Pirates, the Red Sox, the Cubs, that there were these other organizations out there that really did make a huge contribution to the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then that's one of the things I wanted to wear my Monarchs hat, but then I looked at it and I'm like, well, it's pretty dirty. So I didn't have time to make it down to go get it. Because I mean, that's where you find the best hats too. Like the best merch is at the museum. You can probably find some online, but I mean, the selection they have at the museum is amazing. I just didn't have time to get down there today.
All right, last segment for the show, because we have Motley Mondays coming up at 5:30 Eastern Standard on
Hell yeah.
Spreaker.com. So you like 80s glam, you like 80s rock, 80s metal.
Oh,
Chris
kickstart
Resco
my
will be
heart.
there. So I have here now. I'm not stating as of this point you should go and bet any of these numbers. Okay. Players are not getting there until July 1st, which is Wednesday. Then you still have 3 weeks of summer training, in quotation
Mm-hmm.
marks. And now you're going to have the announcements of guys opting out for the season. So take these numbers with a grain of salt. And when it comes up to like the day before the season, that's why I say you should spend a few dollars. Now, Alex, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot, like I always do.
Always.
I'm going to give you the team and the over-under, and you give me your opinion whether it will be a under or over.
Okay.
All right? Starting out with the National League East. Obviously, National League East is playing the American League East. The Atlanta Braves under over 35.5. 33.5, sorry.
The Braves, I'm going to go with under.
Okay. Now the Boston Red Sox, obviously
I'm going to go with the over.
the East
On
Division.
Boston. I'm going to go with
Boston Red
Boston.
Sox 31.5.
I'm going to go with the under. The under on that one. I wanted to go with the over because it's the Red Sox, but 31.5?
Which means they're winning 32 games out of 60.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
that's we'll do like we do on Arch Rivals, and we'll.
I think they'll win more than 32 games. So I'm going to go with the over on Boston.
Okay. Now again, I'm saying this as you guys are probably listening to it later on. Don't bet these odds yet.
Don't.
By July 31st, I will have the official updated odds for this, and I'll probably be back doing like a little bit of a betting show. Because, I did that pretty well on Arch Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where we're going to go with a few weird teams because we don't really talk about them because they're completely trash.
If you say the Kansas City Royals, we're gonna fight.
No, I'm going with somebody completely worse than them.
Oh,
completely
God.
worse than them.
There's not much.
The Baltimore Orioles.
Woo!
Under over 21.
Man, I don't know because
Mind you that they are playing the East,
mm-hmm.
which would have the Nationals, the Braves, the Phillies, the Mets.
I'm gonna go with the under.
Okay.
Under on that one.
I'm not saying this team is trash. They have not done very well in the last few years, but I leave it at that. The Chicago White Sox at 32 games.
And I forgot they were still a team.
Well,
seriously, since Frank Thomas played for them, I thought that they just went defunct. I'm going to go with the under on the White Sox, definitely.
Okay. Now we'll stay in the Central.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it as the divisions are because there's pretty much no point of saying NL or AL.
Yeah.
The Cincinnati Reds, 32 games.
The Reds had a run of it in 16, didn't they?
Yes.
Not every guy. I will go with the over on Cincinnati.
All right.
I'll definitely go with the over on Cincinnati because I think that they've still been working on a good team. They had a really good team in 2016, and I haven't paid much attention to them since. But from what I can remember, they're still a fairly decent ball club. So they could surprise you. So I'm going to go with the over on Cincinnati.
All right. Now we're going to kind of stay in the Central. I can't believe I'm saying this team's name on the fucking air. The Detroit Tigers
Under.
over
Under.
22.
I don't know, man, because we were talking about the Tigers the other day, or yesterday, and with the new rules that are out, the Tiger, it's kind of one of those things that you like. The underdogs, like you want to vote for the under. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the over on this for the Tigers. I think they might be able to do this with these new rules,
All
or
right.
do something.
Now, obviously, they've listed now this team as a higher team in the Central. The Milwaukee Brewers over 31.
They're pretty good. I mean, they got Mike Moustakas. I'll go over.
All right. We'll do some westerns, and then we'll go for the tops. The Texas Rangers, obviously playing out west.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
The over 29.
I don't think they're gonna win 29. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go under.
The Seattle Mariners 25.
They still got a team since Ken Griffey left.
The sad thing is that Enzo does say not bad over on Milwaukee, so he has the over of 31 on Milwaukee. You know what? I hate to say it,
actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Mariners. I'm gonna go with the over.
I'm the most I really get to see for baseball wise. I guess like if I delve into doing the research for the full MLB, if we end up doing fantasy baseball, by the way, this year,
Yeah.
you really don't hear very much about the Western teams anyway. So,
Not really.
To me, I think I probably would have to do a little research on them. I would probably go the under on the Mariners. I probably would go the under. They're not one of the top echelon.
No, they're really
Western
not.
Teams. The Oakland Athletics.
Over.
33.5, which we will round up to 34.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with the over on that one.
All right.
The A's definitely, they are something special. They definitely can. They've proven to be a pretty damn good team over the years. So I mean, I'd give them the over on that one.
All right. So now this is where we're going to go into championship rounds. Okay.
Okay.
We have like 15, 20 minutes left, so we can actually delve into these a little bit.
Okay.
Let's start off with. God, another team I'm going to hate to say on the air. The New York Yankees.
Fuck the Yankees.
They have them listed at 37.5 wins, which will round up to 38.
Man, that's the one thing about the Yankees, though, is I'm sure they probably will be the over because they pay so well for their players. I mean, the one thing I hate about the Yankees is they just buy. They don't work a system. They just buy what's going to work, which is not a bad system either. But, man.
This is the one thing that I will say about this 38 wins projected. Okay? All I need to hear the first 2 weeks of the regular season, a tweak of this or a tweak of that. Stanton, Judge, Sanchez. I'm trying to remember the pitcher's name. He just had back surgery.
Well, that's a factor there.
You know, not for anything. I mean, he had a sports hernia, but that's besides the point. All it is it takes one tweak of something, and your lineup goes in the toilet. So, Yankees have been bitten by the injury bug the last few years. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go 38 wins.
I don't know, man.
I don't
It's
see it.
still the New York Yankees. I
Yeah,
mean,
but you're telling a team that they're going to go 38-22. And believe it or not, 37 and a half, or what we round up to 38, is the highest number on this list. So there's no saying that there's any disparity in between.
I don't think they're that good. And maybe I will. Maybe I don't know, man. Watch I'll take the under on the Yankees. I think they'll do under that.
The LA Dodgers,
Over.
again, at 38 wins.
Yeah, I'll go with the over on the LA. Dude, they're strong. They're so strong.
And their lineup is tough, 1-8.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
1-9 now, I guess.
Over on the Dodgers for sure.
All right. Here comes the one that I have been aching and baking for. I've made many comments on this.
The Kansas City Royals are going to win it all this year, guys.
Well, Kansas City is at under over 24, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Enzo. I couldn't remember Paxton's name.
It's bad. Paxton Lynch or James Paxton?
James Paxton is the one that had the sports hernia surgery.
Yeah.
But the Royals are listed at 24 wins for the year.
Yeah, I know. We're not going to do that great.
They're not officially the worst team on here, though, because Detroit's at 21 and a half.
Thank God.
At Baltimore are 20 and a half. The Houston Astros.
The cheating Houston Astros?
Under over 36.
Are they cheating or are they playing fair?
Well, we could divvy up this conversation in two ways. The revenge theory, meaning that they're going to want to plunk a lot of people on the Astros, but why give up the extra base, which could turn into a huger inning? Every game is going to matter.
I think so too, and everybody's got Houston's number in their head because they've already got their number because you guys fucking cheated. Neat. So I mean, I think everybody's going to try to go after him as hard as they can.
Which sucks now, though, is that teams that the Astros played in the National League are not going to be able to play against them.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees are not going to be able to play against them. The Red Sox are not going to be able to play against them because they're stuck in the Central. May not mean as much to people in the division as it does outside of the division.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the under. I'm going with the huge under with the Astros. I really, after last year and the whole scandal, yeah. I think those guys are, because everybody's gonna be watching them way more. So yeah, I'm gonna go the under on that one.
Okay, let's go to the World Series champions. The Washington Nationals. Mind you, this is not updated after today's news of no Ryan Zimmerman for the season.
Yeah.
They have them listed officially at 34 games.
I think that might be spot on for them. Even without Zimmerman, I think they're still a pretty strong ball club.
Well, also take it to the fact now that they don't have Anthony Rendon to freaking back them up anymore.
Yeah, but I still think they're a pretty solid ball club. I'm gonna go with even on that one. Can I say even?
At an even 34 games, yeah. I don't see why
think
not.
an even 34. I think they'll do it even 34.
I think I got 2 or 3 more teams on this list that we can go over.
All right.
I'm going to start with the Philadelphia Phillies.
What are they? What's their odds? Or what's the under over?
32 under over. Remember, you have the crybaby right fielder Bryce Harper there.
Yeah, but
They
I don't know, man.
overpaid for Zach Wheeler
Yeah.
because I don't think Zach Wheeler is going to be that great on Philly.
Hmm. I think I'm going to go with the under on Philly.
I probably would too.
Yeah.
My only reasoning about this is I don't think the odds makers that put this list together, okay, take into account that it's not just the divisional people, the
Yeah.
teams that they're playing, it's the teams in other divisions that they got to play.
Yeah, and they really don't have anything to go on, really, because this is the weirdest season ever.
No, but if you kind of look at it, the NL East is, again, I think that's probably the way they slate it. It's probably the toughest division in baseball.
Yeah.
You've got Philly, you got Atlanta, you got Washington, okay, the Mets, and the only pushover team in that division is probably going to be the Marlins, who are rated at 25 wins for the season, by the way. The over is at a plus 100. Then you go to the
watch him kill this year.
Then you go to the AL and you have the Yankees, you have the Red Sox, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays,
Jesus,
and
that's
the
a
Toronto
juggernaut.
Blue Jays. So you pretty much will have a big roundhouse fight
Yeah.
with 8 teams that you have to play inside of a 60-game schedule. All of them have pretty much great pitching staffs, lineups galore.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only differences is going to be bullpens. I think that's going to be the big issue. But when you put the Nationals there, the Phillies, I'm even going to say this because the Mets are even listed there too.
Yeah.
The Mets are listed at 33 wins. Now, mind you,
What?
all of the teams that I just mentioned, 33 wins over for the New York Metropolitans.
I'm going to go with the under on the Mets. I would definitely go with the under on the Mets. I don't know. I mean, I know it's your team, buddy, and I'm sorry. But I don't see it. I don't see it there. But I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm 100% right, but I don't see it. I give them 30 wins.
The only way I could say any of these teams really benefit, okay, is the National League has a DH now.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that's going to be the thing. Like, and you're right. Like these numbers are kind of like bogus because we don't know what it's got. Like, yeah, a week before the season starts, that's when we'll know how they play in the off season or the summer training.
I think this is I think the advantage to a lot of the National League teams, and you look at some of them like
DH.
They get an extra hitter in their lineup. You don't, and I have to kind of say this, maybe Philly, the Braves, the Mets, St. Louis, the Nationals, the Brewers. I think and it's extremely a bigger advantage for the Dodgers because their lineup before the DH 1 to 8 is sick. Now you're just adding another power bat in for them.
Yeah.
I think the extra bat makes the difference. The extra bat is going to make the difference. No matter what team it is throughout the National League, I'd say maybe, and it's not a term that I like to use, the wins above replacement. You're adding in a solid like 270, 290 hitter into an extra spot in the lineup. That's probably going to give you maybe 3 or 4 extra wins.
Yeah.
So
no sin and Enzo said no Syndergaard, no Wheeler. So there's that too.
See, I think that's the biggest difference out of all of it.
And that's the thing is like I don't know what I mean, and all this stuff that we're talking about is just speculation because we don't know which players are going to opt out and which aren't. And I mean, we know a few, but that's just within the last couple of days. Like, who knows who we're going to be watching? They might call kids up from the minor clubs because they don't have a staff.
But to me, though, like I said, I will be back on this topic in a few weeks after we exactly see what the season brings
Yeah,
or the summer training brings. But these odds are also via DraftKings.com.
yeah,
And DraftKings has been, as of late, on point with a lot of numbers. Now, these aren't the official Vegas numbers because nobody in their right mind is going to put money out yet.
yeah. Vegas doesn't have a line yet.
If you don't have the analytics for it, you're not doing it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But that's pretty much our show, man.
that is our show. I mean, that's like, but you know what, ladies and gentlemen, baseball starts on Wednesday, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, it's all up in the air. They could call the league tomorrow. I mean, but as of right now, sports are coming back. At least American sports, other than like NASCAR, which
I give them a lot of props for being
I give
one
a
of
lot
the
of
innovators
props.
to get them back.
But what we're
Mets announced
oh,
one player tested positive for the worldwide bastard, no name yet.
and that's another factor that I mean. I think it's going to be interesting. It could be a shit show of a season, but we don't. I don't know. I really don't like. In light of what all is going on, I don't know where this is going to end up. And I mean, I think Major League Baseball is going to pave the way for the other sports. I know MLS is that they're looking at maybe postponing the season even more or even canceling the entire thing. Football seems to be going on as according to plan, but we don't know about, I think they're waiting to see what the MLB does.
See, now we went over those numbers. It's now not just Ryan Zimmerman for the Nationals. It's Joe Ross as well, not playing for the Nationals. That's a big pitcher and a big hitter out of their lineup. So those numbers are
Yeah,
obviously going to still change. I'd say
day to
significantly.
day. Yeah.
Thanks, Enzo, for popping on. I appreciate it, man. Because
Enzo, is great talking to you again, buddy.
Enzo is one of the contributors to Horsehide to Cowhide on Spreaker.com. The only thing that has not gotten on was iHeart, but it's on almost every major platform.
Well, who listens to iHeart, anyways?
I'll put it this way: he checks out a lot of info throughout the season for us. So
Yeah.
even football season. All right.
True, man. Well, I mean, Ricky, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been great to get back on the air again. I mean, I know I've been going to the move and whatnot, and obviously the worldwide bastard, but it's good to get back online. Thanks for having me on. It's a privilege to be on Horsehide to Cowhide.
Yes. Which will be we're airing the new show on Sunday, July 5th. It will be the newest episode. We just released the 4th episode of the show yesterday on June 28th. It is an amazing show, fun-filled, historical baseball, top to bottom. Like I said, Enzo is one of the contributors. Shout out to Mark Braverman, Joey Drzinka, Bobby Guarente. Joey and Bobby are both working with I-95 Sports Network.
And right after this, you guys got to join Rex on Motley Mondays, a personal favorite of mine, on Spreaker. It's www.spreaker.com/show/Motley Mondays. Motley-Mondays. Check it out for some good old-fashioned hair metal.
In the meantime, we have Motley Mondays coming up. We have Pipebomb Radio tomorrow. Wednesday will be off. The schedule for the rest of the week is Paint Train Pipe Bomb Thursday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. YouTube, Twitch, Blackjack TV, and Facebook. Double play this week of Flashback Fridays. We have one on Friday,
goodness.
and we have one on Saturday for 4th of July weekend. So we'll be rolling out radio all over the place.
Content, tons of content.
And we love to give out the content.
Absolutely.
On behalf of the, I'm going to kind of totally mess up this ending, but on behalf of the Worldwide Bastard, which gave us this whole issue, and my co-host, Alex Aldape, back in the saddle again.
Back in the saddle.
I'm Ricky. That's Pipe Bomb Radio. This is how you do a sports radio show. And we will catch you guys soon.
Later, guys. Take care.